What's up, Dolphin Nation? What's up, NFL Nation, NFL fans, and what's up, PhinsTalk family? The Miami Dolphins and head coach Jeff Hafley continue to fill out his staff. The most recent hire is quarterback coach Nathaniel Hackett, and then we have Jamil Adi, formerly of the Buffalo Bills, and he is a former Miami Hurricane. He is now going to be the cornerbacks coach, and it's official now. It happened earlier today. Al Washington out of Notre Dame, the linebackers coach, is now going to be the linebackers coach for our Miami Dolphins. I'm going to go ahead and read to you a couple articles of information on these hires. Then I'll go ahead and read to you a little bit of background on each. And then I'll go ahead and give you my thoughts on these last three hires. It's now, I believe it's 7 coaches, or anywhere from 7 to 10 coaches have been hired already. We haven't officially named a defensive coordinator. We know Hafley is going to call the defense, but he said he's going to name a defensive coordinator to oversee some activities during practice. So we'll see who is going to be named officially the defensive coordinator. Also, our former defensive coordinator has not been hired as a head coach and has not officially been let go from his Miami Dolphin duties, or promoted or demoted to another position thus far. Once that happens, or once more hire happens and he just leaves, I will let you know. All right, let's get started with the articles. Dolphins hiring former head coach, longtime offensive coordinator as QB coach. And this was written by the Sun Sentinel, David Furones of the Sun Sentinel. The Miami Dolphins are bound to lose a quarterback's coach with extensive offensive coordinator experience, but they are now picking up one who has been a head coach in the professional ranks. The Dolphins are hiring Nathaniel Hackett for their vacant quarterbacks coach position under new coach Jeff Hafley, according to a league source Thursday evening. Hackett, 46, replaces Darrell Bevell, who held the quarterbacks coach role all 4 seasons of Mike McDaniel's tenure as coach of the Dolphins. Hackett was at the helm for the Denver Broncos in 2022, but couldn't crack it in his lone season as head coach, going 4-11 and being fired to pave the way for the Broncos to hire Sean Payton thereafter. He got to the head coach rank in large part due to his tenure as Green Bay Packers offensive coordinator from 2019 through 2021, with quarterback Aaron Rodgers under coach Matt LaFleur, as the Green Bay Packers had 3 consecutive 13-win seasons, making 2 NFC Championship games. After a quick stint in Denver, Hackett was reunited with Rodgers as the New York Jets offensive coordinator under Robert Saleh. He is linked to Hafley from being a defensive analyst for the Packers last season, when Hafley was defensive coordinator in Green Bay. He also has ties to new Dolphins general manager John Eric Sullivan, both from last season and his first stint with the Packers. Before arriving to Green Bay, Hackett was offensive coordinator of the Jacksonville Jaguars from 2016 through 2018, and the Buffalo Bills from 2013 and 14. In 2015 and 16, he was quarterback coach for the Jaguars. In his offense with Blake Bortles quarterback, the 2017 Jaguars made the AFC Championship game. With the Dolphins, Hackett will be under Hafley and offensive coordinator Bobby Slowick running the Shanahan offense. Miami and Sullivan could decide to release quarterback Tua Tagovailoa this offseason, so Quinn Ewers, going into the second season, could be the lone returning quarterback who played in 2025. Zach Wilson is a free agent. The Dolphins may bring in another quarterback either through free agency or the draft for competition. The hire of Hackett, I think, is a somewhat of a. I understand why he brought him in because of his supposed experience, and his good years were with Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. So was it really Hackett or was it Aaron Rodgers that made him look good while he was at Green Bay? So could this be the first necessarily first or second bad hire that Jeff Hafley has made? How long is Hackett going to be the quarterback's coach? And as long as he's not the coordinator, I'm good with it. But are the quarterbacks really going to learn from Jeff Hackett? That's the only question I have. This could be, in my opinion, the first or second bad hire of the Jeff Hafley staff. It has to play out, though. Dolphins' new coaching staff now has a cornerbacks coach who once was at UM. Again, this is by David Veronis of the Sun Sentinel. The Miami Dolphins are bringing in former Miami Hurricanes assistant coach who was just on the Buffalo Bills coaching staff. As a new coach, Jeff Hafley continues to build his own group of coaches under him. The Dolphins are hiring Jamil Addy as cornerbacks coach, according to league sources, confirming an initial ESPN report. Addy, 41, has been the Bills' quarterback coach each of the past 2 seasons, but their staff in flux. The team fired ex-coach Sean McDermott and promoted Joe Brady from offensive coordinator. Before that, Addy coached UM secondary from 2022 to 2023. Hurricanes coach Mario Cristobal's staff. Like new Dolphins defensive back coach Addy, his previous ties to veteran cornerback Rasul Douglas was coached by Downward in Green Bay and Addy in Buffalo. Before coaching at UM, Addy had college coaching stops at Georgia, his alma mater, West Virginia, Minnesota, Arizona, Cincinnati, Michigan, and West Virginia University. He was co-defensive coordinator in 2020. While with the Hurricanes, he developed current defensive backs Kareem Kitchens, Tyreek Stevenson, James Williams, and DJ Ivey. While Addy and Downward have agreed to join Hafley's coaching staff, the Dolphins still don't have a defensive coordinator hired, possibly because the team is waiting to see if the Arizona Cardinals hire Anthony Weaver, who held the role under previous coach Mike McDaniel as head coach. That would net Miami 2 compensatory third-round draft picks. On the offensive side, the Dolphins have Bobby Slowick as offensive coordinator, Mike Tolbert as wide receivers coach, Adele Betts as running backs coach, Zach Yancier as offensive line coach. Addy is the second coach hired who was with the Buffalo Bills last season. The Dolphins brought on special teams coordinator Chris Tabbert shortly after Hafley was hired. I like this hire. He's coached some good cornerbacks, and I think we're gonna see a safeties coach, unless they're gonna work the defensive back coach and the cornerbacks coach to also work the safeties coach, work with the safeties position. But I think we're gonna hire a coach for the safeties awesome. That's my gut feeling. And I really like this hire. The Dolphins also hired earlier. Those two hires were yesterday. Earlier today, the Dolphins hired their linebackers coach. Dolphins hired esteemed Notre Dame assistant as linebackers coach. So it's Notre Dame assistant now going to be our linebackers coach. This is also by David Furones. As the Miami Dolphins still haven't named the defense coordinator. As of Friday morning, the team now has position coaches in place at various levels of the defense. The Dolphins are hiring esteemed college assistant coach Al Washington as linebackers coach, according to a league source Friday after various reports Thursday night. Washington, 41, has been the defensive line coach at Notre Dame for the past 4 seasons and was switching this year to coach linebackers. He has also been the Fighting Irish defensive running game coordinator. A defensive tackle in his playing days at Boston College, Washington was linebacker coach at Ohio State from 2019 through 2021 and at Michigan in 2018. He also has previous stops at Cincinnati, BC Elron, and Slippery Rock. It was at Ohio State where new Dolphins head coach Jeff Hafley has a connection with Washington, as he was co-defensive coordinator and defensive back coach with the Buckeyes in 2019. Hafley also went on to be head coach at Washington's alma mater, Boston College, for 4 years. Sean Duggan, a fast riser in the coaching ranks, who was linebackers coach under Hafley as defensive coordinator for Green Bay Packers last year, is also in the running to be defensive coordinator for the Dolphins. Duggan was a player at BC when Washington was an assistant coach there in various roles. The Dolphins have not yet named Duggan or anyone as defensive coordinator, while Anthony Weaver, the defensive coordinator the past 2 seasons in Miami, awaits word from the Arizona Cardinals for their head coaching vacancy. The Dolphins also interviewed Philadelphia Eagles defensive line coach Clint Hurt for the defensive coordinator job. If the Cardinals hire Weaver, who is black, the Dolphins will be awarded compensatory third-round picks the next 2 drafts under the league Rooney Rule for developing a minority candidate to help him reach the head coaching ranks. Miami's defensive side of the staff has Ryan Danworth as defensive back coach, Jamil Addy as cornerbacks coach. Offensively, the Dolphins have Bobby Slowick as offensive coordinator, Nathaniel Hackett as quarterbacks coach, Ladell Betts as running backs coach, Tyke Tolbert as wide receivers coach, and Zach Yentzer as offensive line coach. A little more history on these 3. Hackett started his NFL coaching career with the Buccaneers. In 2006 and 2007, Hackett worked as the offensive quality control coach with the Buccaneers. Then in 2008, Hackett accepted a position with the Buffalo Bills as their offensive quality control coach. However, the team stumbled to losing records both of his seasons, with the team 7-9 and 6-10, from 2008 to 2009. Coach Dick Jabron was fired 9 games into the 2009 season. He returned to college football for Syracuse and began working history with head coach Doug Marrone. That was in 2010. Returned to the NFL. Buffalo Bills, after a successful season in 2012, Hackett returned to the NFL following new head coach Doug Marrone to the Buffalo Bills. So he's had 2 stints with the Buffalo Bills and the Jacksonville Jaguars story, and you know the rest of it. So that's Hackett real quick. Washington has been serving with Notre Dame as their defensive line coach and defensive running game coordinator before the past 2 seasons. He's been the defensive line coach the last 2 seasons. Washington played defensive line at Boston College from 2002 to 2005, where he was a 3-year starter and a 4-year letter winner, accumulating 74 tackles, 6 sacks, and 15.5 tackles for loss in his career. The Eagles won at least 8 games each season during his tenure and went undefeated in 4 bowl appearances. Over the subsequent years, Washington's coaching journey included stints as defensive line coach at Slippery Rock University from 2009 to 2010, linebackers coach at Ellen University in 2011, had multiple roles at his alma mater, Boston College, from 2012 to 2016, where he coached running backs, defensive line, and special teams, while he developed NFL talents such as Heisman Trophy finalist Andre Williams. He then served as defensive line coach at the University of Cincinnati in 2017, linebackers coach at the University of Michigan in 2018, where he mentored future pros like Devin Bush, and linebackers coach at Ohio State University from 2019 to 2021, contributing to the defense that proceeded to produce 3 first-round draft picks in 2020. Joining Notre Dame in 2022, Washington has coached All-Americans including Isaiah Forsky in 2022, Howard Cross III in 2023, Riley Sims in 2024, contributing to the Irish top-ranked passing efficiency defenses, and leading national marks in turnovers, gained 33 turnovers in the last several years, and a college football appearances as 15 bowl games and 5 college football appearances as of 2025. So there you go with his coaching career in terms of Al Washington. And the last person to give you a little information on is Jamil Hadid. Graduate assistant West Virginia in 2007, Michigan, graduate assistant from 2008 to 2009, graduate assistant in Cincinnati from 2010, director of player development in Cincinnati from 2011 to 2012, running backs coach, Arizona from 2013 to 2015, defensive analyst from 2016 to 2017, defensive back coach, Minnesota in 2018, defensive back coach, West Virginia in 2019, secondaries coach in West Virginia in 2020, co-defensive coordinator and cornerbacks coach at Georgia in 2021, defensive back coach at University of Miami from 2022 to 2023, secondaries coach, Buffalo Bills from 2024 to 2025, and recently got hired with our Miami Dolphins to be the cornerbacks coach. Guys, I like 2 out of the 3 hires. I'm okay with Nathaniel Hackett, but I don't know how that's going to turn out. I think that could be the first or second bad hire from head coach Jeff Halpy. We'll see how it turns out, and we'll see how long Nathaniel Hackett is part of Jeff Halpy's staff. Hopefully he does not become the offensive coordinator in the near future, and hopefully he's around in Miami maybe only 1 or 2 years, and they'll go somewhere else, because I'm questioning if he's going to be able to help develop the QB or the QBs of the future. Leave me your thoughts in the comments, and like always, stay positive, stay on your grind, and go Dolphins.